words that describe how you're feeling right now today. And I'll start off. My three are energized, grounded, and grateful. Kimberly, how about you? And you got to remember to unmute.
Mine would be blessed, creative, and motivated.
Nice, thank you. Kim Moody. Unmute.
Mine would be exhausted because I have 2 toddlers at home. Appreciative for everybody that has been here in the office working on things with us, and ready for this whole thing to be behind us and ready for the next steps.
Great, thanks. Bonnie, how about you? And don't forget to unmute. You're still muted. There we go.
I also feel energized and blessed, and a little anxious because I would really like to be able to do so much more than I'm capable of doing right now with the situation. So let's say a little anxiety there because of not being able to.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, thanks. Okay, Yolanda.
Okay, I'm feeling grateful. I am feeling motivated, and my motivation is mixed up with that anxiety as well. Not a lot, but it's just there.
It's there, yeah. It's kind of underlying everything, I think, for a lot of us. Namita, how about you?
All right, I'm feeling happy, loved, and excited to be here.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Leanne. Hi, Leanne.
Hi. Positive, valued, and engaged.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Karen Larson, my friend, unmute yourself and tell us 3 words that describe how you're feeling today.
I'm feeling very hopeful, number one. I'm also feeling very thankful today. It's interesting you ask, because I woke up feeling thankful and all this morning. It was great. And let's see, what else? Hungry.
Okay, we have Kay Kelly at Phoenix Rehab. Unmute yourself and give us 3 words of how you're feeling today, please.
Good morning. This is Kristen Kelly. I am feeling covered in blessings just because each day they're new. That's awesome. I'm full of anticipation because, there are so many things that are going on that are out of our control, but each day things really present themselves that we can control. So I like to anticipate those each day. And hot.
Yeah, it's July in Virginia. Thanks, Kristen.
It is. Thank you.
Sheila, could you tell us 3 words how you feel today?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I am feeling happy, loved, and energetic.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And then we have a phone number. It's 804-937-3958. Would you unmute and tell us how you're feeling today?
Yes, my name is Diana Leva. I'm actually apprenticeship consultant for the Registered Apprenticeship Program. I'm sorry that I couldn't video call in, but we're not allowed to.
No problem.
So I am just feeling like a lot of you guys, anxious, just because you don't really know what's going on. I'm feeling very grateful that I still can work and be home with my son, and just very eager to get back out there.
Great. Thank you so much. We heard some common things. Many of us are feeling blessed. We're feeling energetic, but at the same time, we've got some anxiety, and we recognize there are things in the world that we can't control right now. And I want each and every one of you to understand that with Agape Love, you do have control of how you show up as a leader in your business and in the world. And I have this subtitle of Agape Leadership in a VUCA world because VUCA is a leadership paradigm that was created in the late 90s by the military to discern how they were going to, what lens they were going to use to look at the world. And they chose 4 words: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And oh my goodness, every one of the things we're facing right now, we could describe using one of those 4 words, couldn't we? Let's take a look at what exactly agape love is.
The ancient Greeks had 4 words for love. The first is philia. Philia is affection that grows from friendship. Next, there's storge, the kind you have for a grandparent or a brother. Third, there's eros, the uncontrollable urge to say, I love you. The 4th kind of love is different. It's the most admirable. It's called agape. Love as an action. It takes courage, sacrifice, strength. For 175 years, we've been helping people act on their love so they can look back or look ahead and say, we got it right. We did good.
The interesting thing about that commercial to me is that we look at different kinds of love, and they give us the examples around agape love, and none of them have to do with business. Not a one. None of them have to do with our work. We're supposed to take 1/3 of our lives and totally remove it from the realm of agape love. And in my mind, agape love becomes an opportunity for leadership. It becomes a tool in your tool chest as a leader. Because if you bring agape love, which is love as action, it's not romantic love, it's not family love, it's not infatuation, it is actually taking steps to be in relationship, to be in community, to be in relationship and in community in our businesses, in our organizations, within our teams. That is what I'm talking about today. That is what I'm challenging each of you to adopt, to accept the call, to step forward as an agape leader, to step forward and be a leader of loving action. And so what I want us to think about are some of the costs. Can anybody name what they might imagine a cost of totally leaving love out of the workplace, out of your professional lives? Any ideas? Really high rates. Oh, Kim, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say turnover.
Yes, turnover is actually one of them. Another is a high rate of burnout. Another is extreme stress. Now, some of you have already mentioned that you have young children at home, or you're working from home and you have other things going on. That constant demand back and forth on your attention, your ability to expend energy is being tossed out at times willy-nilly, right? From one crisis to another. Agape leadership is love as an action, which means that you recognize the cost of withholding part of yourself from your business and your career. There are also benefits. There are benefits for integrating an agape leadership style. Some of those benefits are you can create psychological safety for yourself and your team. Some of those things are then there's genuine connection, right? We feel that we can show up authentically within our careers and within our businesses and our organizations. I'd like to invite each of you to take out a paper, pen, and section off 3 different sections and entitle one, Stop, another section, Start, and the third, Continue. Stop, start, continue. And as we go through the presentation, if it occurs to you to start doing something, add that to the start column. If it occurs to you that you should stop doing something, bless you, Kimberly, then add that to the column. If there's something that you're doing really well, We want to celebrate and acknowledge that and put that in your continue column. I'm going to throw a lot of tactics at you today, and the ones that work for you, pick up and take. The ones that don't, let them fall away, because those aren't relevant for you. So again, take a look at these tools and figure out which ones you should start, which things you could stop, which things that you can continue. All right, Agape Leadership calls on you to practice what I believe is 4 things: a growth mindset, an expanded awareness, and then an active choice to build readiness and resilience. So remember, this isn't love for family or love for romance, right? This is love as an action. It's a discipline and a practice. As an agape leader, you can choose to examine your mindset. You can choose to expand your awareness, to build readiness and resilience for yourself, for your team, for your business and organization. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? We're talking about imperfect execution that's implemented daily. So it's a process of learning and awareness, growth and development. So Agape Leadership can give you the opportunity to align the values that you have in your personal life with those that you carry forward into your business and organization. It can give you an opportunity to also connect the mission that you have for yourself personally, but then also in your business or your organization. The same with purpose. Agape leaders have the opportunity, they can control, and remember that we've already mentioned that some of us feel as though, or we all recognize, there's so little we can control. Agape leadership is about your power. It's about your influence. It's about stepping into the story of your life and being the author of that, not to be a minor character in your own life, in your own business. It's about courageously developing the power of your individualism and to nurture diversity of thought. It's also about building a team and an organization that's ready for anything. And we all mentioned, even in our chat before the meeting officially started, that who could have imagined a year ago that we would be sitting here in the midst of all of this? No one imagined this. And so agape leaders, they don't run, they don't hide, they don't abdicate their responsibilities. They actually demonstrate courage and sacrifice and strength. They choose to know themselves and to know their values. They listen to understand. They don't listen to change the other person. They listen to understand the other person's point of view. So as an agape leader, you have the opportunity to love through anything, imperfectly. Now, again, not only is the love imperfect, but we're all people. We're all imperfect, right? We're all doing the best we can for the most part. And I think that at this point, many of us have added a couple of items. I hope you've added a couple of items to your stop, start, and continue sections, because choosing to write your own story, well, that can be one way to process anxiety. If you, at the end of a day or when you're anxious, if you sit down and you write about what it is that's happened, even if it's just by bullet points, you are affirming that the feeling is there, you're acknowledging that it's still with you, and then you give yourself, your brain, the opportunity to process whatever's happened. If you are expanding your sense of awareness, well, again, how does that look? Does that mean when you walk into a room and you say, hey, how are you? And you're not really listening, you realize that you're not really aware of how that other person is feeling or what that other person is thinking or what that other person is really doing? Then that would go under the stop column, right? Because as an agape leader, that is not a loving behavior. So you want to be fully engaged with the person in front of you. Most of us underestimate our influence by about 80%. That's huge. So we have so much more power than we think we do. So we can choose to go in and to think about somebody or think about a conversation and already have the story going on in our heads that may not be at all realistic. It may be that we have a story going on in our head that, and I'm going to throw another acronym at you, GALE, and that stands for gremlin, assumptions, interpretations, and limiting beliefs, the gremlin is that voice of our inner critic. And so if we're underestimating our influence and we're putting a huge amount of importance on what our own perspective is, we may not be practicing agape leadership. We may instead be so involved in the story in our own head that we're missing opportunities to genuinely connect. We're missing opportunities to lead our teams and organizations. Emotional intelligence is vital to an agape leader. And look at these percentages. 92% of employees identify empathy as extremely important, but yet only half feel that their leader is empathetic. Let's take a look at this, this illustration of influence.
Mark is the best husband and father you could ask for. Right, mi amor?
My brother, he's just a big kid.
Great guy. Best man at my wedding. Just gotta keep him off the dance floor.
Uncle Mark's the best. He taught me how to seal a vase.
He stopped by yesterday just to chat.
Honestly, this place would fall apart without him.
That is a frightening example of, but I think a pretty accurate one for those of us who are left behind after something sudden has happened to somebody we really care about. We realize what a vital piece of our lives that they played. If we as agape leaders can understand today how influential, how powerful each of us really are, it really frees us and calls us to step forward and be fully present, fully engaged with whomever's in front of you. Whether it's we're in front of each other like this, I mean, honestly, we all acknowledge it's second best, but at the same time, it's better than nothing. It's better than not having the contact. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Well, you know, one of the things that is really interesting to me is this whole idea about the hero's journey, the heroine's journey, since we're all women in business here. And so what I love about this is, as an agape leader, we have the opportunity to become a seeker. We can leave what we've always done. Again, I'm going back to the stop, start, continue. We can stop doing the things that we know to do, that we're comfortable doing. We can start doing things that play to our strengths, that really are manifestations of our gifts. We can become the leader in our organization or our team to explore new ways, create new ways to do things, to connect genuinely. One great example is how we're connecting here today. And then the second aspect of the heroine's journey is what I call the fight. And I don't really mean like a fist fight. I mean like, you know, those inevitable twists and turns that have happened, like COVID and our economy and the racial inequity that has gone on and now is bubbling to the surface. So it's a hard path at times. It challenges us. It's not comfortable, is it? It's never comfortable. But when I say victor, which is the third phase I'd like us to consider, what I'm talking about there is not, whoa, we're the winner. No, what I'm talking about there is we've learned, we've grown. We've curated some wisdom from this experience. We maybe have connected with new mentors and allies. We've developed new tools and onboarding them. We've recognized that we can navigate around obstacles. We can go over, under, through. We have the power to do these things. I'd like to share with you, I don't know if any of you are knitters, but I have a client, Debbie Floyd, who owns Dances with Wool. And Debbie and I started working together before COVID hit. And Debbie had a vision about where she wanted her business to go. And so she had identified sort of what the next 5 to 10 years might look like. And in our work together, we identified different places where Debbie could add additional value to her business. She looked at how her values connected to what she did in her business. She looked at where she thought that new opportunities might rest and where possible new revenue streams were. And the amazing thing was we came up with a 5-year list of actionable steps that Debbie could take to build value and strengthen her customer community, and then also, you know, create additional impact in the world. No idea COVID was coming, no idea. And lo and behold, it came. Debbie, in the space of 8 weeks, did most of the things that were on that 5-year list. It was amazing and is amazing what she's been able to do. And so what I would offer to each of you is that you would consider really taking seriously this idea of creating your own story, looking at your experiences, journaling them, writing them down, doing whatever you need to do to feel as though you are the author, you are the creator of your life. And in that life, where do you have an opportunity to use and exert agape leadership? So this is an opportunity for you to integrate experiences and create meaning from your life. I mentioned before, our internal narratives are so powerful. I mean, I don't know how many times my husband and I have been married, well, it'll be 36 years this year. And we've known each other since we were 11 and 12. And there will be times where I will walk into a room and I'll ask him something and he says yes, or he'll ask me something and I'm like, uh-huh. And later we come back and one or the other of us is indignant because we're like, I told you that. And the other person's like, no, you didn't. Because we were not fully present. We were not really listening. But we then had a story because when we come back to it, then we're ready for a fight, right? We're like, I just want to know, you never listen to me or whatever. But when we're able to move that aside, like, hey, did you remember I told you about whatever? And he was like, no, I didn't. That was right before I got the call that Dad was he had been rushed to the emergency room, which actually just happened to us last Friday. So things happen. And until we take the time to be in the moment, to notice that the other person is distracted or whatever, we don't have the opportunity to clear out our internal narrative. Agape leadership offers you the opportunity to show love as an action by listening, by being fully present, by being the author of your own life story. So huge of an opportunity for you. Let's also talk about the cost benefits of some of this stuff. So a bonus tactic, which is a huge benefit, is if you as an agape leader can choose to use a growth mindset. Now, I have a definition here for a growth mindset, but let's talk about what a fixed mindset is. A fixed mindset is when we look at something and we say, oh, we're done. I mean, that's as much as I can do. Or I'm an old dog, can't teach this old dog new tricks, or I can't do that. A growth mindset means we recognize what our basic abilities are. We see where our blind spots or our knowledge gaps reside. And then we just think, okay, I need to onboard some people or I need to onboard some skills so I can figure out how to do this. And then I got to practice. There's no easy out here. An agape leader can use that hero's journey with a growth mindset to integrate and process experiences, which increases your capacity and your capabilities. Do you ever feel like something happens and it's like, if one more thing happens, I'm just on my last nerve? That's an example of an internal dialogue, that internal narrative that we tell ourselves. If, on the other hand, when something happens and then something happens and then something happens, because it always seems to happen that way, if we say to ourselves, all right, I can handle this in this way, and then the next thing happens, ooh, I'm getting low on my energy here. Okay, I'll handle this. And then when the third thing happens, oh my gosh, I'm going to call Bonnie. Bonnie, I need some help. Or Namita, I need some help here. Then we have a greater understanding and awareness of what we need. If we tell ourselves, I can't handle anything else, I can't do anything else, I'm at my limit, we don't give ourselves the grace to reach out and ask for help. If, on the other hand, we can say to ourselves, okay, I know that I'm at this point and I need to reach out and ask for some help, or I need to give myself the grace to be able to say no to whatever this is, or to say, I need to put this off for an hour or half an hour, I need a break. That is agape leadership. That actually is agape love towards yourself. All right. Agape leaders don't use love as a weapon of oppression. Agape leaders use love as the opportunity to create and hold space for people to show up as their authentic selves. So when we look at stretching awareness to creating this greater awareness, we can do everything from like meditation, where we are aware of our own bodies and our minds. We can also take that lens of self-awareness and look at, and here's another acronym for you, BRAVE, to look at our beliefs around a situation, or to look at the rituals. And in this case, I'm not talking about religious rituals. I'm talking about what are the patterns and behaviors that give shape to your life and your work in that moment. And then your allies. So in the example I just used, if I'm at my limit and I reach out to Bonnie and I reach out to Namita, they would be my allies in that situation. I would also have the opportunity to really list my values. If something is bothering me and I'm not able to work through it, I might be faced with a conflict with one of my values. That creates a lot of stress. If many of you are working from home, and yet professionalism is so important, it's one of your values, then it might be really hard for you to have your kids walking through or your dog walking through behind you on the Zoom screen. And let's look at emotionally meaningful experiences. So if I've had an experience that was really negative, I'm going to carry that experience into the next situation, right? So if I've had a situation where I have delivered feedback to one of my coworkers and that person didn't take it well, the next time I have to deliver feedback to that team member, it's going to impact my delivery. That's part of being human. And so what I'm really suggesting here is that you look at stretching your awareness for yourself and really practice that, and then use that to invite other people on your team, your customers, building out your ideal customer profile. Look at this and use this as a lens to also understand the other person, to extend empathy to them, to ask someone, you seem to be having a really strong reaction with this. Have you had a negative experience around this before? Because I totally understand and I would love to know more about that. I have another client who actually owns 2 businesses, and she has a team that, and she is a business owner who practices agape leadership. And she has a team that really is very diverse, and they have a lot of challenges ahead of them with the business that they're in. And yet this CEO knows herself. She knows her team. She has a genuine connection with each one of those people. She knows her clients. She knows everything that's listed on this screen. She has a handle on. And it is amazing to me when I see her navigate the different issues and challenges that come up in her business and within the team as she uses agape leadership to navigate those things. She uses her expanded sense of awareness to monitor, but also to empathize and connect. Because remember, you have great influence, and we often underestimate our influence. So this is one way that you get to be fully present, create a safe space to have an authentic connection with yourself, your team, and anybody else, your client for that matter. So let's also look at drivers of behavior. This is generally, all of us, range in these 5. And in any given situation, one is usually a primary. We might have a second that's playing a role. And so if you're bringing this expanded sense of awareness to a team meeting or to a client meeting or customer meeting, then if you also can determine what is driving that person's behavior or your own, then it sets you up to reach some common ground, some consensus. So it's another acronym, SCARF. And status here is not like car you drive, clothes you wear. It's like, what position do you hold in the community? What position do you hold in the team? What position do you hold in the business? Certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness are pretty self-explanatory. I have to say that AGAPE leaders like Debbie Floyd and like my client Tammy that I shared, they can use their core identity and the drivers of behavior to create empathic teams and to create team meetings where there's a disagreement on the table, on the agenda, and they can practice authentic connection and create a space of psychological safety so that every voice is heard. And the quality of the work, the productivity, the connection that those types of teams experience outweigh, and the return on investment is so much higher than those teams and organizations where AGAPE love does not play a role in that business. And as we mentioned, burnout, stress, turnover, all of those are things that can impact a business's profitability. So let me give you a formula for how to have some of these difficult conversations. You want to identify what you want to get out of the conversation. I mean, what are you really looking for? What's the ideal? What's the minimum? What's the middle of the road? Wow, let me spit that out. Second of all, you want to script it. Write it out. Say what you feel. Not you, but it's I feel this. I believe. I think. I would like. I'm asking for. And then imagine the feelings and thoughts and reactions of the other person. Practice it out loud. Have somebody listen to it. And then schedule the conversation. AGAPE leaders don't run, don't hide. They don't abdicate their responsibility. All of these things can act as mileposts to know that you're navigating through a situation. Now, let me be clear. We're not aiming for perfection, right? We're not going to be able to do this perfectly. We're going to just practice. It's a practice and a discipline. And it's something that you can say to the other person, we may not get through all of this today. We may need to take a break, but I, as an AGAPE leader, am committed to working through this issue with you. Guardrails. Don't we all need guardrails? So AGAPE leaders can use that love as an action as a guardrail. You can use your values. You can use the growth mindset and that expanded sense of awareness. You can also choose to use and build readiness and resilience. So that whole exercise about a hero's journey and creating and being the author of your story, that can become your roadmap. You can be driving in the vehicle of your AGAPE leadership, and then you're not going to leave money on the table. You're not going to lose confidence in your employees and yourself and in your customers or clients. You're not going to miss opportunities. Oh, okay, I just timed myself. I'm running out of time to be with you. So those are the guardrails. And so the last tool that I would like to ask that you consider is scenario planning. Everybody, we talked about how we didn't anticipate the pandemic, but yet if you as a business owner or part of a team in an organization can put people together, and when you have your planning meetings, introduce scenario planning, then picture this. You're not going to be trying to build the plane, fly the plane in a storm. You can build the plan ahead of time, fly the plane, anticipate the storm, and then fly around it, under it, or if you have a plan to go through it. That's how scenario planning can become another tool in the AGAPE leaders tool chest. It can become so valuable. So And that's what Debbie Floyd did. That's what my client Tammy Durden did of Tammy's offices. These are women who look at scenarios, who plan for those scenarios. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, neither of them did it perfectly, but they have navigated COVID and they are doing it successfully. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to build readiness and resilience through scenario planning. So you can also, as an AGAPE leader, set your team and your organization, your business up to use tools. And you can use each one of these tools within each scenario that you come up with as being most likely that your business will face. You can come up with an emergency recovery fund amount. You can create a pivot and pitfalls analysis. You can use that mindset, awareness, readiness, and resilience formula. So here are the 8 steps to an AGAPE workplace: to show appreciation, to offer encouragement, to be understanding and flexible with boundaries, listen to understand, offer psychological safety, train rather than criticize, offer support in times of overwhelm, and ask how people are doing and really listen. AGAPE leaders use loving action to give strength to those around them, and they love through everything imperfectly. And the last story I'll share with you is that my husband and I had started a business with another couple, and we had 2 goals going into that. We wanted to start the business, to sell it, and we wanted to be friends throughout. And 25 years later, we've sold the business, we sold it to our target acquirer, and we're still friends. And so that intersection of life and business was navigated successfully by using the principles of AGAPE leadership. And I want to thank all of you today for being here and for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. So, and please reach out at any time if I can help you with scenario planning or a business continuity plan. I'd love to do that. So thank you all.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. That was a great
Thank
message.
you.
Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Steps there that I'm sure all of us can put in place, you know, as we listed what we could start and stop and continue. So we look forward to bringing more of these women in business through Zoom the last Tuesday of every month. So come on back, join us again. This time I'm going to let each of us introduce ourselves and tell us who you are and what you do. And Kimberly Nelson, you want to start it off? Yes.
Okay. So I am the office manager for the Goochland County Chamber of Commerce. I help market all of the businesses that are associated with us. I help you guys get in touch with whomever you need to connect with, and yeah, all kinds of different stuff behind the scenes. And so you got questions or need help, Bonnie and I are here to help you.
Kim Moody.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. You'll probably hear my children in the background. We're new to Goochland. We moved here last year to run a property that we call the Estate at River Run, and it is here in Goochland on Route 6. We specialize in weddings and events and things like that. Obviously a very weird industry to be in right now with COVID, so we're just navigating that. But I've been a wedding planner for the last 16 years, and we've been very busy getting this project off the ground. And we also own 2 retail stores, one in Henrico between Lily Pulitzer and Osaka. It's called Trend, right on Huguenot Road. Right by Chico's. And then we've got another Trend in Blackstone, Virginia, which is where we lived prior to moving here in the downtown district, in a big building that used to be a People's Department store. So we're in the middle of 2 very rough industries right now with all of that. So, you know, just trying to weather the storm and plan for the unexpected, as you mentioned.
Thank you. Yolanda?
Wendy, thank you so much for that. I was thinking of Stephen Covey's book, you know, The 7 Habits that came out so long ago, and how if we could all remember those principles, the ones that you laid out were just really powerful to me. And I have my stop, start, continue list going too. I'm a coach. I'm a Christian coach for the Christian professional woman. And what my main focus is taking women on the journey to authenticity through their identity in Christ. And when that happens, when you begin to see yourself as God sees you, you begin to see yourself as loved. And when that happens, thinking about what Wendy just shared, then you're able to identify your gifts and able to walk in that agape love in all areas of your life. And it just happens when you love yourself, you love others, and by loving others, you love yourself. And it's been really a powerful 6 years, and I'm just looking forward to doing more. And today just confirmed that we can have a virtual speaker and make it work. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, one more thing. I am a proud member of the Goochland Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Leanne?
Hello, I'm Leanne Basselt. I'm a senior district executive for the Heart of Virginia Council Boy Scouts of America. I serve Goochland, the entire county, and the western half of Henrico and Hanover. And mostly what I do for work is fundraising, recruiting, and then supporting our units, the PAX, troops, crews, ships, posts that all exist in that area. Just so that you're aware, we do have an upcoming event. The invites haven't gone out, but we're working on it for this week. We're doing the Distinguished Citizen Award honoring Sheriff Creasy of Goochland, and it's going to be held at our camp, T. Brady Saunders, right there in Maidens. So if you would like an invite, please do let me know. It's going to be a $25 ticket. Should be a good breakfast, and you can just attend. We're going to try and get it virtual, so you can attend virtually if you would prefer that to the big gathering. So that's me.
When is that?
Oh, September 10th, 7:30 start time in the morning, and should be about an hour-long program.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Karen? You need to unmute now.
I got you. Hey, Bonnie, it's so good to see your face again.
Thank you. Good to see
And you too. And you too, Kimberly. And thank you, Wendy, for your presentation today. It's good to be back here and, and meeting up with some people in the Goochland Chamber. It's great. I'm Karen Larson. I'm an HR expert, a coach, and a fractional HR director, and I own HR Tabs here in Glen Ellen as well. And I work with small business owners all over Richmond to offer basically full service HR, everything from compliance to performance management and writing policies and helping with employee relations issues, training, and so forth. So I enjoy that, and I'm always looking for business.
Thank you. Monica?
All right. Hey, everybody again. Thank you, Wendy, for that session. Really enjoyed it. What really caught my attention is that you were talking about love, which is also the theme of my upcoming book, which I'm releasing in about a week. Yeah, from now. So that really got me hooked to your entire speech. And I loved how you included love in leadership while working. Just amazed me. Taken down so many points to take back with me. Thank you for that. So I'm an author, a poet. I'm launching my second book in about a week or two. It's Unconditional, a poem-based book, 101 poems on love. Apart from that, I came to the US 3 years back. I was an IT professional in India. I've organized TEDx events. I am also a Toastmaster here right now, and I do freelance writing for now.
Okay. Thank you. Sheila?
Hi, everybody. Great to see everybody's faces. Good to see you for the second time today, Bonnie. My name is Sheila Augustine, and I am a realtor with Keller Williams Realty, specializing in seniors that are downsizing. Usually in the next couple of months, I help them get everything organized and set to go, so they only have one call to make, and I'll take care of all the problems and everything behind the scenes. And if anybody's thinking about selling, it is so hot. We went up against 15 contracts last week for a house in Chesterfield, and it's very similar all over the area. So if you know of anybody, now's a good time.
Thank you. Diana?
Hi, my name is Diana Leva. I am a registered apprenticeship consultant for the state of Virginia, and pretty much I consult in areas like Goochland and other Richmond surrounding areas, connecting the apprenticeship program with companies and get them apprentices on board so they can get schooling and on-the-job training at the same time while getting licensed. We're working on getting licensed. So I support businesses in that aspect.
Thank you. Tricia?
Thank you.
Hi there. I'm sorry I had a meeting, a phone call that was late, and then I just got off. So anyway, hi there.
Just tell us who you are, what you do.
Oh, I'm Tricia Branch, and I'm with New York Life. And I was very fortunate that I just had somebody call up at 11:20 saying, I want life insurance right now, and I want whole life insurance. And, you know, how often does that happen? I mean, so it's a good day.
Good. Well, we're glad to have you with us. And like I said, we'll be back here the last Tuesday of each month. So register on our website. And if you would like to connect with anyone here in the group and you need some contact information, we certainly have that. And we need to support each other through this time. It's a difficult time, but I'm finding that there's still a lot of businesses that are open and people that are working, and we just need to be out there supporting those. And if the chamber can help you in any way, please reach out to us. I'm always here, glad to help. So.
Thank you. You know, when I first started, Bonnie, you were the one who kept my spirits up. So anyway, it's a good time to learn the Zoom part of getting back into working hard. I think we all have to work hard before November, because then we'll have more chaos around that time.
Anyone have questions for anyone in the group? Do you have anything on chat, Kimberly? Okay. Well, thank you for being here. We hope to see you again next month. And reach out to us if we can be of any help. Thank you again, Wendy.
Sorry I missed everything. I'm sorry I missed hearing you, Wendy. So
thank you all so much for being here. And Tricia, I'm glad you were able to help someone with life insurance. That's very important. Talk about scenario planning. Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.